Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a long-term market analysis update for Ergo. We're going to talk about some key levels of support, such as this 2020 high going all the way back here around $1.40. We're going to cover this longer-term range that we exited with the range lows right around $1.62, the 50-week simple moving average, which is the yellow line. And we're also going to talk about Ergo's performance with respect to Bitcoin by looking at the Ergo Bitcoin ratio, talk about the fact that we have just seen a retest off the middle of the range, and this moving average as well. So I hope you guys do enjoy the content and the analysis. And I do want to start off here on the weekly chart for the Ergo tether pair. So over the last few months, Ergo has broken down below this range, to which we had the range highs at $4.30 and then the range lows right around $1.62. And we have seen that continuation to the downside, bringing us to this lower low, which is retesting the highs from back here in 2020, again around $1.40. So if we just go back here to this time frame, you can see that Ergo had this pretty impressive rally up to that level, going up, bringing Ergo up around 500% in just about 1 month. This was the first major sign of resistance, to which Ergo later rejected over the following 12 weeks by about 75%. So that established this very strong level, very key level for Ergo, eventually breaking out above this and having this massive move, forming new all-time highs right here in January and February of 2021. So that's how we know this is going to be a key level to watch, given its historical value as strong resistance and a huge breakout point in this bull run. So again, we have seen that retest over the last few weeks. And if I zoom in here, we are holding that level as support. We can see that we have a little bit of a bounce going off here with the lows, taking us up to the current high of this week by about 17%. But from where we are today on that move back down, we're up around 8%. So we are seeing somewhat of a bounce, and we're still holding this as support. We have the weekly closes holding up above this level. So overall, that is a pretty positive sign. And I just want to see this continue to hold, where I do not want to see Ergo lose this as support, where if I just zoom out here all the way, below this level, there really isn't much support further down until we get into some of these other lower highs, like the one in October, right around 83 cents. So this is a pretty inefficient zone between these two levels. There's not much price action spent in between this, and it really would be a pretty quick move, in my opinion, if we are starting to break out below the support right around $1.40, $1.30. So watch to see if Ergo can continue to hold this as support on the weekly chart. If we continue to have these weekly closes above that region, that will remain positive. And look out for that underside retest of the previous range lows right around $1.62. Now that level right around $1.62 is a level we've been talking about for months and months with Ergo, really just being a very key pivot point back here in March of 2021. This was the level where Ergo found some support, had some buyers starting to step in after this pretty big correction from that resistance and that local high, bringing Ergo down about 62%. So a very important higher low formed, and then eventually we pivoted off of that, forming new all-time highs. And we also saw a bounce of support right here on this low right here in July. So that confirmed this level as longer-term support, and we had a pretty decent size move back up to those range highs. So over the next few weeks, if we do get a continued bounce and a continued relief recovery attempt back up higher, look to see if Ergo has some sort of interaction off of this level. If we have a flip into resistance, that would overall be a bearish sign, to which I would look out for a retest of the lows that we have right around $1.30. If we can break out above back into the range, that would be a very bullish sign, to which I would look at this as a longer term deviation. So that would look something like this, where maybe if we get back above this, reclaim the range lows as support, then this would form a deviation to which we would have this massive fake out. And we've seen this time and time again throughout Ergo's history. And we have two examples to the upside, where basically we had this deviation right here in March and April, taking us up outside of the range highs and then coming back right into that range, flipping this back into resistance. We also had that same move, that same pattern play out in September and August. Same thing, where we had that brief move right outside of the range, and then over the next few weeks, we came right back into it. So I would not rule out that possibility where we might just have another deviation, another fake out, this time to the downside instead of the two previous moves that we had to the upside. So if we do get this, that would be a bullish sign, and just watch to see if we can reclaim that level. Again, the range lows at $1.62, a very, very important level for the longer term trend on Ergo. So that is what I'm going to be watching out for on this pair. I also do want to talk about the Ergo Bitcoin ratio. And this is really just going to show us how Ergo is performing with respect to Bitcoin. I think it's a very important chart to watch because in general, you do want your altcoins to outperform Bitcoin, given they do tend to take on higher risks. So with this, we're going to be looking at the 50-day simple moving average, which is this yellow line. That is where we have seen a rejection over the last few days, coming up right into that level. Currently, it's at around 8,800 Satoshis, but do keep in mind that it is averaging down and it will continue to average down because 50 days ago, we were at some higher valuations. So again, we have seen that move right up into that level. And as of right now, we've got a rejection. We've got some follow through. We're coming back down from this local high. Ergo is down by about 11% with respect to Bitcoin. That move has also come off the back of a retest of the middle of the range, again around 9,000 Satoshis. And if we zoom out here all the way, the middle of the range has been a pretty historical level. This was a high from back here in February of 2021. This was also support and resistance in these months of consolidation in this longer term range. And again, we have seen that rejection off of that zone. So at this point, I would expect some continuation back down to the range lows and the support right around 7,100, 7,200 Satoshis. So this is the region we will be watching out for into the next few weeks. This is a longer term zone of support. We've seen bounces off this level right here in February, and then right here in May, and then lastly in July. So if we do have that follow through and that continuation back down, look to this level as support and look for that retest of the range lows with respect to Bitcoin. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis. By the way, make sure to check out my Twitter page. I will leave a link to that in the description below. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.